Hype coins are getting a lot of attention at the moment, and I took the bait, got FOMO and invested into two of them. Let's talk about why I believe I have made a huge mistake. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Reese, and in today's video, I'm going to try and make back the money that I am pretty confident I am going to lose for investing into these two meme coins in particular. The crypto market this year has done extremely well, considering the global pandemic that is still happening well into 2021. This could be attributed to an influx of new investors who are just pouring cash into this new asset class. Just as an example for context, this poll that was run on Twitter at the time of grabbing this screen cap shows a simple representation of the amount of new investors into crypto we are seeing. And if you are interested in seeing the end result of that poll, I've left a link down in the description to the owner of that tweet, so go check it out if you want to. But with that out of the way, let's cover exactly what I've done, where I'm currently sitting, why I think I made a mistake, and what you need to understand before investing in hype coins. I'm gonna break them into parts. I reckon that will be the easiest way to set this out. So part one, what have I done? So the story goes like this. I get a random text message from a mate while I'm off in Sydney, just having a little holiday getaway, and it goes something like this. He says, "Have you looked into SafeMoon?" I say, "I have not." He says, "I just bought $200 worth, about 71 million tokens. I honestly know nothing about the crypto, but I see it on heaps of crypto pages. It keeps coming up, and in TikToks, and it's up like 3,800% in 1 month. Haha." And it was exactly in this moment that I threw out all of my discipline, research tactics, and logic, because all I saw in that sentence was up 3,800%, 71 million tokens, TikTok, ha. Not that bit. What did I do? I grabbed all of my VeChain and converted it into SafeMoon, and now I'm broke. Just kidding. What I actually did was reply to him and say, "Hey, that's pretty impressive, and it's pretty common for new coins and tokens to pump, especially because hype coins are super popular at the moment." And I told him I would look into it when I have time. And within the span of about 20 minutes, I had 2 messages from 2 other people, and none of these people are friends with each other. They don't really know each other, saying the exact same thing. Invest in this coin, it's going to go to the moon. And after I received these 3 messages, I was definitely interested in looking more into this token. It was clearly gaining traction. I wanted a piece of the pie. 3,800% daily gains sounds pretty good to me. So I did end up buying some, about $1,000 between SafeMoon and Elongate, which is not a small amount of money by any means, especially when you're investing into something like a hype coin. Then I started to look into these projects a bit more and identified very quickly that they have nothing going on behind the scenes. Yet. Long story short, they are both very new and have a lot of red flags associated with them currently. Some examples just off the top of my head include neither of them have decent white papers, there's not extensive information about the plan or who created them out there available for us to really dive in and understand more about these projects, and the fees are going to eat you alive, whether you buy, sell, or swap them, which puts them right into hype coin territory. Because these coins and tokens are getting so much hype at the moment, there are videos being made every day explaining how to buy them, what the pros and cons are. That is not the message that I'm trying to convey in this video. I'm not trying to sell you on the idea of these coins and tokens. I'm not trying to tell you to invest in them or not to invest in them. That's the end of part 1. That is what I did. Now let's talk about where I'm currently sitting. I purchased both Elongate and SafeMoon on the 20th of April 2021. Here was my portfolio holdings for these 2 tokens when I bought them. I purchased about 65 million SafeMoon tokens for roughly $800 and 105 million Elongate tokens for roughly $100, all up about $1,000 after fees. Because of the way these tokens are set up, holders of these tokens receive a small amount of more tokens every time someone else sells theirs. So out of that sale, when someone sells theirs, a portion of the tokens get distributed to anyone who holds them, and a portion of them get burned forever. So at the time of recording this video, because I've been holding them for a little while now, I am roughly holding 65, almost 66 million SafeMoon tokens at a value of about $375 and 107 almost million Elongate tokens, roughly valued at about $100. Now, the burn off of tokens for these 2 in particular sounds great in theory because it makes them a deflationary currency, which means as time passes on, they will go up in value because they will become more scarce. As the supply drops, they will become more desirable theoretically, therefore driving the price up. But there is currently some serious drama going on regarding the burn wallet. People seem to be convinced that they aren't actually being burned and instead are just being accumulated by the creators, which could technically be liquidated all at once. Think of it like a rug pull scenario, and the explainer that I just showed you is really the only transparency we have to go on. Just something to think about. And that's all the context you need for part 2. Moving on to part 3. So here's why I think I messed up. Generally speaking, hype coins get popular very quickly because people go absolutely crazy the second they start to see green on the charts. Once word of mouth gets around, people get FOMO, that's fear of missing out. If you don't know, they get FOMO and then blindly buy into these coins and tokens. I myself did this back in 2017 at the peak of the market, just before it crashed almost 90%. You would think I would have learned my lesson. The coins that I invested into back in 2017, most of them don't exist anymore, and the ones that do are only worth a fraction of what I initially invested in them. The point here is that I lost my money. And here's why I'm probably going to lose my money, or the money that I invested into these two tokens as well. Part 4 and part 3 kind of tie into each other. They're kind of similar, so I'm gonna merge them together. Just keep in mind, part 3 is why I think I messed up. Part 4 is what you need to understand before investing into hype coins. So everyone that has bought into these tokens over the past month most likely weren't interested in selling them, because why would they? The gains are still to come. They're investing for the long term because the price is going to skyrocket and they're going to make millions of dollars from tiny investments. But now that the dust has kind of settled and people are starting to release content on YouTube trying to expose these scam coins, these hype coins that are scams, I'm not claiming that they are or aren't. I'm just saying that I'm seeing plenty of content come up saying, hey, don't buy this because XYZ. People are starting to sell. So this includes both whales and retail investors who have made gains from the initial pump. Coming out of this, as I browse on the subreddits that these tokens hold and different forums and threads where people talk about cryptocurrency, I'm seeing a lot of people who have been like, I made 10 grand from SafeMoon. I put $1,000 in and I have 10 grand sitting there, I'm selling it. Great. But what the catch is when they sell it, they're getting smashed with fees and converting it from that token all the way back to either fiat currency or a stable coin. They're paying anywhere up to 40 to 50% of the total value of that portfolio in fees. This is really bad. And this part of the video is the most important to pay attention to. It's bad because in order to make a comfortable profit after selling fees, conversion fees, and getting it back to your normal currency, you would need to multiply your initial investment significantly. Here is exactly where these types of coins and tokens trap you. Let's use me as an example. I have recently invested $1,000 between these two projects. If I sell them at any point below a 2x, I will essentially gain nothing. So theoretically, I should hold them. But if the price never goes up, I will have to make the decision to either sell them at a loss or hold them until they eventually fizzle out and become worthless. Watching the price of them continually drop is not something that anyone's going to enjoy doing. Do you see the trap? Most people who invest into these projects are going to lose money. The real winners are the whales and the creators who are absolutely 100% taking their cut. This is a good lesson to be learned. FOMO is not a good justification to invest your money. I have made some serious gains over the past 8 months investing into projects that have some serious potential, VeChain being one of them. It is not a hype coin. If the price were to drop significantly, I would probably buy more because over time it would bounce back, especially as mass adoption takes place and more people start to use the platform. If you are someone who struggles with volatility and can't handle your portfolio fluctuating significantly, don't invest into these hype coins. The stress is not worth it. However, I do definitely need to mention that the opposite could totally happen. We've seen it happen recently with Dogecoin, where if you had invested $100 anywhere from a year ago to now, or to about a month ago, your portfolio would be worth well over $100,000 in Australian dollars anyway, which is terrifying. This is kind of why I put some money into these projects, because the potential is definitely there purely based off of people's stupidity and FOMO. At the end of the day, as bad as it sounds, I am kind of hoping that people FOMO into these projects, the price goes up, and at that point, I will definitely be taking my profits and never looking back. At the moment, there is only a limited number of ways you can trade these tokens, most notably through PancakeSwap. So if one of these projects were to get listed on a bigger exchange, they could easily 100 or 1000x before people realize what they're investing into. My plan is to continue holding both SafeMoon and Elongate in my wallet because I took a punt. It was a blind gamble and I was willing to lose that money. So ultimately that's why I gave it a go. Just keep this in mind before blindly investing into random projects like this. Really look into what they're about and what the fundamentals are. They're meme coins, so there wouldn't be many fundamentals, but look into it. More importantly, look into what people's experiences with them are when they sell, when they buy, how much in fees they're getting charged, things like that, because that will paint a picture very quickly if they're worth investing into. And obviously, there's plenty of memes to come along with it. Don't just look at the memes. In my honest opinion, what I've done is no different to me going to the casino and playing on the roulette table. I took a gamble. Keep that in mind as well. I have to repeat it. It's important for you to understand. Of course, I could be completely wrong. I could be reading way too much into the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and not know what I'm talking about whatsoever. Just make sure that you do your own research, come to your own conclusions, and only invest money you are willing to lose. None of this is financial advice. I am just word vomiting onto the camera about my experience with this token and why I think I kind of jumped ship and made a silly decision. Time will tell. We'll see how it works out. With that out of the way, that was the video. I hope you did enjoy. I hope I made you think before investing into hype coins blindly. Keep that in mind. Overall, I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. I really appreciate the support. The channel has grown significantly in the last couple of months. And honestly, if you enjoy the videos, thank you for watching all the way through. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. I'll leave you there. See you in the next video.